Hello. For this video, we're going to take a look at the home page. The home page is a representation of your orders and their queues below, as well as their statuses. Please note, if you are running QuickBooks Pro, your sales order numbers will say estimate numbers, not sales order numbers. If you are running Enterprise or Premier, they will say sales order numbers, just like mine. If at any point in time you get off the home page, you can return to it by clicking the Crown Trophy logo on the top left or the home button next to it. Let's start by taking a look at some of the tools we've given you to help you out. First, you have the search bar. The search bar will allow you to search customers' orders by business name, sales order number, invoice number, purchase order number, or by memo. These will allow you to be able to find the customer's information in the queues below. Following the search bar, you have the color key. You have red, orange, yellow, and green. We will go more in depth on these colors later in this video. Next, let's look at the menu bar. The menu bar gives you the ability to access individual features of workflow. For example, the home button. The home button drop-down gives you the ability to access the queues below. Following the home button, you have business. Business allows you to be able to search all orders, search your customers, create new customers, create new sales orders, and to create new purchase orders. Setup allows you to add and change particular features of workflow, such as statuses, colors, settings, and users. We will go more in depth on the setup drop-down in the admin video. Next, you have the help button. The help button tells you how to contact Crown Workflow if you ever need assistance. Let's go ahead and take a look at each individual queue now. If you look in the top left of each queue, you will see the queue's name followed by a number. You can tell by this number how many orders are currently in each queue. We can see there's currently 7 orders in the new order queue. Let's go ahead and take a look at the new orders queue. We can do this by going to the home drop-down and selecting new orders, or by hitting the maximize button at the top of the new orders queue. Now that we're in the new orders queue, let's look at some of the information we have on orders that are currently in the process of getting information. First, we have the business names. Then we have the memos giving us a brief description of what the order contains, the sales order or estimate number, the due date, and finally the status. The new orders queue is used to process any orders that are still needing information, such as engraving, a list of names, anything of the nature like that. Let's go ahead and return to the home page to take a look at the next queue. You can do this by hitting the Crown Trophy logo in the top left, the home button right next to it, or you can hit the restore button at the top left hand corner of the queue. Next, let's take a look at the production queue. As you can see by right next to the production name, there's currently 19 orders in the production queue. Let's go ahead and maximize the production queue by either going to the home drop-down and selecting production, or going to the maximize button at the top of the production queue. Now that we're in the production queue, you can see there's a lot of information here. The production queue is used by the staff member you've designated to oversee the entire production process, which may include staging or pulling stock for orders and ordering in new stock from vendors. Next, we'll look at the columns. You have business name, memo, sales order or estimate number, due date, status, and summary. Summary shows you the style number and the quantity ordered. You can also see you have the color key here, which takes a more important role. For instance, you have red, stop order change, which is signifying something is going on with the order that needs to be looked at immediately. Next, you have orange, promo and special order. These are orders that don't necessarily need assembled in store or not commonly carried in store. In most cases, these are products that are pre-assembled or pre-decorated. Next, you have yellow, meaning production in process. This stands for the stock being ordered or pulled and has begun the process in which to begin the assembly. Green, showing production complete, is meaning that the product is complete and is ready for inspection for quality control. Next you have white. White signifies that the order has just entered the production process and that it needs to be looked at for the item to have its stock pulled or ordered. You may have already noticed the color boxes surrounding the due date. These colors are completely customizable. Some stores have elected to use these to signify a specific staff member that will be working on the order. Some stores have also elected to use this to signify specific equipment that is needed for an order, such as sublimation, sandblasting, or direct color. Other stores have signified that this is a specific location in which the item is stored. Now let's go back to the home page. Remember, you could do this by hitting the Crown Trophy logo, the Home button, or if you're in the maximized view of each individual queue, you can hit Restore. Next, we're going to take a look at purchase orders. The purchase order queue is used by the staff member in charge of production to track and maintain all current purchase orders that they have placed. The purchase order queue can range from orders to replace store stock or to fulfill a customer's order. In the purchase order queue, you have the vendor, the job information, the memo, the PO number, and the expected date. We'll go ahead and return to the home page and take a look at the next queue. Let's go ahead and take a look at the engraving queue next. You can see in the top left that we currently have 8 orders in this queue. Let's go ahead and maximize this queue to take a look at it. Now that we're in the engraving queue, you can see you have many of the same columns that you did in the previous queues. You have business name, memo, sales order or estimate number, due date with the customized color boxes for your store, the status, and the summaries. Just like with many of the other queues, this is where your engraver is going to be working out of. From here, he can track and maintain all orders that still need done that are in the engraving queue. Let's go ahead and return to the home page. The next queue we're going to look at on my screen is called Apparel. Now this queue will vary from store to store. In some cases it will say signs, in others it may not even be there at all, or in other cases it will say signs and apparels having both queues there. This will all depend on what your store needs. Since we can see there's only one order in this queue, let's maximize it and take a look. As you can see from this queue, it is very similar to all the others. Once again, you have the business name, memo, sales order or estimate number, the due date, the status, and the summary. Let's go ahead and return back to the home page to take a look at the next queue. The next queue we're going to look at is the assembly queue. Since we can see there's currently 13 orders in this queue, let's go ahead and maximize it. The assembly queue has the same columns as the previous queues. Business name, memo, sales order or estimate, due date, status, and summary. One way stores have been taking advantage of the assembly queue is they will print out each order, or they will pull up the order on a mobile device and have it with them as they're working on the order. This is allowing the staff members in the assembly know how to work the order and allows them to be more efficient and accurate with their work. Let's go ahead and return to the home screen to take a look at the next queue. The next queue we're going to look at is the invoice pending queue. The invoice pending queue is where all orders after production will end up. We can see there's 3 orders in this queue. Let's maximize and take a look. In the invoice pending queue, you will see the business name, memo, sales order or estimate number, the invoice number, and the due date. All orders will end up in the invoice pending queue upon completion. From there, the staff member in charge of bookkeeping will follow up on orders, email customers, and create an invoice for each customer. Let's go ahead and return to the home screen to take a look at the next queue. The next queue we're going to look at is the pickup queue. The pickup queue is where all orders are processed in which the customer is going to be coming into the store and picking up the items. We can currently see there's 6 orders in the pickup queue. Let's maximize it. The pickup queue contains the business name, the memo, the sales order or estimate number, the invoice number, the due date, and the event date. One thing to note that the pickup queue is one of the only queues that is alphabetically organized. All the other queues are organized according to their due date. Let's go ahead and return to the home page to take a look at the last queue. The last and final queue we're going to look at is the ship and deliver queue. We can see there's currently one order in the ship and deliver queue. Let's maximize it and take a look. The ship and deliver queue is going to be used for orders that need to be sent out or delivered to the customer in order for them to receive them. Just like with the pickup queue, you can see the business name, memo, sales order or estimate number, the invoice number, the due date, and the event date. Please note, like I said before, the pickup queue is the only one that is alphabetically organized. The ship and deliver queue is organized by date. On behalf of everyone at Crown Workflow, thank you for joining us. If you ever have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us at contact@crownworkflow.com. Thank you.